Hey everyone, welcome to a video that I've been looking forward to making for quite a few weeks now. I ordered the Retroid Pocket Flip and it has finally arrived. This video includes a test of the grip. I ordered the grip with it. Stick around to the end. I'm going to test that grip and kind of put it through its paces. All right, so let's quickly unbox. It's a little bit big for my little tripod stand here. This is official grip for RP Flip. We'll set that aside. And then this looks like the box. Okay, I've got a couple of devices here to compare it to. Let's quickly look at the grip. Kind of keep you in suspense. Open the grip. Got a bit of that typical plastic that comes with these things. Bit of foam to keep the shape, I suppose. Another piece of plastic-ish. So I got the transparent one. It's hard enough to keep its shape, but soft enough to feel comfortable. It's got a matte finish to it. Bit of a gap there for the stickers and stuff. It's always to slot into parts of the device, so it keeps it into place. So we'll check that out just now, how well it stays in. So far, so good. I like the way that it feels. So, you know, that's a good grip. And the reason I got it is because I felt like if the flip is too top heavy, it's not going to be a very nice device to hold. And I thought the grip would be an ideal thing to go. I'm not usually one to get these sorts of things, but I thought that the flip specifically might be good with the grip. So let's get the flip out. I honestly have been very excited about this device. You know, you review a lot of technology and then something comes along that is just a little bit different. And this is one of those things. Just gives you an introduction to all the bits and pieces. We've got our M2 and M1 buttons, which we can map at the back there. Oh, it's an air inlet. I was wondering what that little circle was. Volume, TF card. Quite excited to try out those analog buttons, the analog triggers. Audio jack on, off, start, select. Yeah, these sliders are going to be a love-hate relationship. Specs exactly the same as the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, which is the device I've got over here. Really like the color of this one. So let's check out the watermelon, which is what I ordered. And so far online, I've seen pictures of the watermelon and it's not even close to what they marketed on the initial renders that they made. It just surprises me that they render things and then just make them, and they don't, you know, kind of make a few sample products, which I'm sure they do, but you know, they must have decided close enough, but I don't know. Anyway, let's see. I'll quickly note the cable. People don't usually take note of these things. You know, remember like Apple used to, well, they still do give really high quality cables, and this one seems fairly good. It's quite a thick cable. Plugs seem fairly good. Oh, that just adds, you know, to have a nice cable with it. Okay, let's get to it. Let's stop delaying the inevitable. All right. Oof. Okay, so the thing is, look at the size. The width of it is just way smaller than the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. It's thicker, obviously. It's a lot thicker. If you have a look there, I mean, that is considerably thicker. But you know, the problem with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, the round edges are nice, but there's not much to hold onto with this thing. Whereas now with the flip, you open it. Let's see. That's so damn nice. Wow. So they're balancing between my fingers, putting this part between my fingers. It's pretty well balanced, man. Yeah, so it slightly rocks back into my hand. So if I push it, just rocks back into my hand. So it's perfectly balanced, like literally perfectly balanced. Feels great in the hand. Kind of sits there. You can feel you need the grip there to give it a really perfect grip. Oh, these sliders are so weird. There's a click to them. So they also click for L3 and R3. Very weird feeling. They kind of spring back into position. Got quite a strong pull back into that center position. These buttons apparently are double molded, so that the color is actually in the mold. It's not painted on, so that's going to last pretty much forever. Now, on the screen in my studio, it's like a pinkish color, but in the studio itself, it just looks like see-through red. I'm going to quickly walk through the house and give you an impression. All right, so walking through the house, this device looks different in every bit of lighting. You know, in the kitchen, there's a bit of light filtering through the window. In the lounge where we don't have much light, it looks red in the darker places. It looks pinkish in the brighter places. The light shining through it, that kind of looks a little bit like the watermelon. If you've been following this online, kind of what you saw online is exactly what I'm seeing now in the studio. It's very red. It's not that nice. I'll put the picture on the screen now. That nice color that we saw, it just isn't that color. It isn't. You know, there's there was a gap now, quite a big gap between opening it and then kind of walking it through the house, and then I got busy with a few things and I came back. And I'm just trying to settle my mind on this color, and I think I made a post on my YouTube channel. I just said, I'm not going to make a definitive statement of whether I like it or not, but I am going to say it's nothing like what it was in the original renders. It really isn't. I can't decide if I like it or hate it. Let me see how it goes. Stick around and subscribe, and I will let you know my final verdict in my full review. This D-pad has got dome switches. It's spongy in general, but then dome switches in the press. This is spongy all around. This is just a rubber membrane. This is a retro rubber membrane. Gonna feel similar to, you know, all your retro consoles. It's lovely. It's really nice. We'll have to see how it plays. And then the sliders, like I said, very weird. Like, I'm gonna have to get used to that, and I think it's just a love-hate thing. You know, you have to have it for this clamshell. And then these action buttons, let's see. A little bit more sort of responsive than something like an Anbernic. Very nice buttons. This is the PowerKey X55. I'm actually so impressed with the buttons on this more affordable device. A huge screen, but the button, like these buttons suck, but these are just so nice to press. There's just something about them, like a little sort of elusive quality that I can't put my finger on. Retroid can't seem to do that with their devices. I don't have that sort of elusive, like, oh, these buttons are so nice to press. However, this device is really, really nice in the hand. And then let's feel those analog triggers. So they've got a long travel, and it's just smooth and effortless. So there, it's silent, it's smooth. It just feels great, man. I can't wait to test that out. And then these are just listen to the click. Just a gentle click, nothing too hectic. And they just don't click there. But there starts the click and all the way through. But I mean, even there, I can get a bit of a click out of it if I press slightly down. So those R1 and L1 buttons also pretty cool. Nice little click to them. And then these mappable M1, M2 buttons. So I'm guessing this is start and select here. And then these are sort of mappable function buttons, which is actually quite nice. In emulators, we can map them to different things. There's no Android back button. I'm not sure if we're going to need a back button once we get Daijisho running. There's your USB-C, it's your HDMI output, which I didn't actually test with the RP3 Plus. I'll definitely do that in my review. So that apparently is air intake. Those are the speaker grills. So they're even further at the back now compared to the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So your audio is coming even more out the back of the device. There's your air outflow, I suppose. So let's switch it on. I'll let you see that intro there. Nice. All right. I haven't even tried the touch screen yet. So my Retro Pocket 3 struggles with like pressing the screen at the bottom, which I think is a software issue. Not sure, but let's see if I have the same issue here. So, oh, well, that already works better. Okay, English, yes. Connect to the internet. Yeah, let's do that. Switch it on. All right, so there it's connected. Yeah, connected. So let's go back. All right, let's go to the next thing. Select your time zone. Okay, my time zone is set. Google Play Services. Yes, I want Google Play Services. I didn't install all of these. I selected what I wanted. But you know what? For the purposes of this review, let's install everything. Okay, this is going to take some time. I'll install the RP Flip Launcher. Configuration complete. Oh, great. All right. So something I will note here is that as I was trying to put my password in and all that, this is a lot harder to use like a phone to type things in than the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. That's just something to note if you are someone who has one of the Retroid devices and you do use it like that a lot. You do a lot of sort of keyboard stuff for whatever purpose. This is not that nice for that. But, you know, it's a retro handheld. It's not meant for typing things. Immediately, I would recommend downloading Daijisho. If you don't know what Daijisho is, give it a little Google. I've got a video on the Retroid Pocket Flip and the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, the setup guide, because it's going to be exactly the same between the two. So I did that a month or so ago, setting this device up, and I immediately recommend downloading Daijisho. Go to that video and check it out, how to set this thing up with Daijisho. It just turns it into just an incredible handheld device. Once you've done that long setup, it takes quite a while. But once that's done, you know, I've been using this Retroid Pocket 3 Plus as my personal device, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And mainly, I mean, obviously I love the Retro. It's a lovely device, but Daijisho definitely took it to the next level. So once again, the community making things better. Okay, so just a quick little size comparison. So I think one of the big things, I'm not going to get into setup guides, that's going to take me all weekend. One of the things that will strike you when this device arrives in the post is the size. It's just not an unusual size, but it really feels good. You know, it's a lot narrower than the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, even though it's maybe a lot thicker, but the thickness just makes it chunky to hold. So it's a great device to hold. What I wanted to just show is the size in comparison to the famous Miu Mini. Now, bear in mind, this is a fancy sort of mid-range Android device that can play a lot of things. It's quite powerful. And this is the Miu Mini. Now, obviously, the Miu Mini is considerably smaller, but the comparison is interesting. So it just shows you that this is quite a pocketable device. Let me actually, so I just popped it in my jeans pocket. It's obviously going to create a bit of a bulge, but it does fit in quite nicely, the round edges and all that. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get a cover for this. You're going to be able to get a case for it, but I don't know if anyone's going to make an actual cover for this. Maybe someone will make stickers to protect it a little bit. I suppose just to show, it's smaller than the RG353P and PS. Very similar in thickness and obviously more powerful, but interesting that it's kind of a similar size to that. And I do really like the sort of ergonomics of this. And obviously, a lot of people complain about these joystick positions. Other than that, it's one of my more enjoyable ergonomic devices. And then moving on to, once it's open and once it's in your hands, there's definitely this little void here in your hands. And so you kind of want to put your hands somewhere. And that's where this grip comes in. In the beginning, I showed the close-ups of it. It's very nice and matte in finish. It's very high quality plastics. Let's do a little bend here so you can see it. It's soft, but firm. And then obviously there's a bit of rigidity. They've got these little sort of stalks here that are going to kind of press against the body, so that'll give it a bit of rigidity as well. So let's put it on and have a look. It's going to go into these screw holes here, and then these little stalks are going to probably go into these screw holes here. So I need to just be sure that I do that. So let's just press in here first, there, and then there, and then there. Oh, it really just slotted in quite easily. Wow. That is very nice. Obviously, you know, now your device looks weird. I mean, it looks like it's got, like, I don't want to say it, but it does look kind of suggestive, but it really feels good. It really does. That's a great grip. I wouldn't take it out in public again, but sitting at night or in the lounge or whatever, I don't know. Maybe I would just kind of screw it, let's do it. But I'm not a big fan of lugging stuff like this around, so we'll see how it goes. This is going to become my daily driver for a while. I'm going to switch over from the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. But something that's tugging on my heartstrings is this, like it or hate it, and I think a lot of people are going to hate it, is the PowerKitty X55, purely because it's just got this massive screen. It's got an RK3566 chipset in, so it's the same power as the RG353P, except less RAM. So it runs Linux. There's already Jealous out for it, and it's just the ergonomics. So the thing about a bigger device is the wonderful ergonomics. There's something to be said about that, and even though this thing is more powerful, it's a bit of a debate. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Go for the grip and get a better device, or use a less cool device and have nice ergonomics. I don't know. Interesting. So that's my initial just have a look, get excited about the device video. I'm kind of, the jury's out on this color. I'm going to try and color grade this video as close to the real thing as possible. I'll sit with the device on my desk while I'm setting the color on this video so that you can get a very good idea of what it looks like in real life. But other than that, I think this device is going to be amazing. I'm going to test these weird sliders tonight, see how I feel about that. Lovely little device. See you in the next one.